Hey everybody, welcome back to Ace Attorney. I am here with Katie,
Hello.
and we are here continuing our journey through the Ace Attorney series. It has been a hot minute, a couple of months, and we're here with Miles's duology, Ace Attorney Investigations. Yes, this is the Android version. I own the DS version, but this is HD. It's nice quality. And yes, I am playing it legally. Don't at me. Um,
Don't tell me how to live my life.
I wasn't saying that to you. You're gonna at me however many times you want to. If you didn't at me, I would be concerned.
I will find the littlest thing to at you at.
Yes, you will. Um. A few facts about this game. This came out 2009. This was my freshman year in college. I'm dating myself a little bit, but this was my freshman year in college. I was super psyched to hear that this came out. I pretty much got it, I think, on release day. And if not, I did get a brand new spanking copy of it. Um, and played it obsessively until I beat it. I had a lot of fun with it. Um, it was the developmental stages. Let's see. So, oh yeah, first off, before that, actually, the fourth entry in the main series, Apollo Justice, came out first. So there's a lot that actually ties into Apollo Justice there, but there's not much story-wise that ties into Apollo Justice, and that's for a very good reason. But there are just Easter eggs here and there. Um, and so yeah, it's if you know Apollo Justice, it's pretty fun to see some of those Easter eggs pop up. If not, it's totally cool. Just rewatch this after Apollo Justice or play it yourself after Apollo Justice just to see these cool little Easter eggs. So the development, again, in my intro video to the whole last series, I had talked about how Apollo Justice was designed with the DS in mind, and so was Investigations. While developing the DS version of Trials and Tribulations, producer Motohide Eshiro had the idea of making a spin-off series based on a major character in Ace Attorney. He ran into Takeshi Yamazaki and suggested the idea to him, and Yamazaki agreed to work on it. I'm reading this straight off the wiki. In his blog on the official Ace Attorney website, Eshiro described it as a reckless suggestion with an inspiring, enthusiastic, reckless response. Daily meetings occurred soon after that. Eshiro and Yamazaki quickly established an emphasis on the crime scene rather than the courtroom for the game. Some points of contention during the endless discussions included the meaning of searching for contradictions in a crime scene, the playability of playing as multiple different characters, and conveying an Ace Attorney game without the signature courtroom battles. Director Yamazaki's original plan was to create a detective game starring Emma Skye. However, producer Eshiro saw Miles in mind as the main character of the detective game, partly because he was seen as a more popular character according to fan feedback, which is incredibly true. Miles is, I think, like the three most popular characters in Japan, I believe, are Nick, Apollo, and Miles. And Apollo and
Sounds right.
yeah, and Apollo and Miles like fight for like tops for like second spot. Nick is just like favorite, which obviously it's his fucking series. Um, the game was developed as a follow-up and spin-off to the main Gyakuten Saibon series. Series regular character designer Tatsuro Iwamoto was the first major development team member to be recruited. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney character designer Kazuya Nuri, who pretty much does now all of the character designs from Apollo Justice onward. So through even uh Great Ace Attorney and like the last entry in the main series, Spirit of Justice, everything. Kazuya Nuri has been there through all of that. He would later be recruited to update some of the characters he had previously designed, though ultimately he ended up designing several of the supporting characters, including most of the victims. Iwamoto and Yamazaki quickly began creating a new ensemble of characters. And the assistant, who is my favorite assistant, and she has been since She first appeared. She is my princess, and I love her so much. She was the first new character to be created for the game. There actually was some canceled features. I just found this out today, and I thought it was very interesting. One crime scene was indicated on a map to be that looked identical to the one used in the case Turnabout Corner in Apollo Justice, to reveal the locations of 3 minor crime scenes that we visit in that, which you guys will see later. The crime scene in question was shown to be located near the spot on which the Wright and Co. law offices would be. That crime scene did not make it into the final game. So we nearly got to go pretty much around the corner from the Wright and Co. law offices. And it didn't make it in.
That would have been interesting, just being like Miles popping in just for a minute to be like, right, did you do this?
Pretty much. There are screenshots and shit too. There's like a fucking like they have like the body line out and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll send I'll send that one to you. Because holy shit.
I just love the mental image now of just him popping in and just being like, what did you do?
There you go. There was the demo for it. So timeline wise, Apollo Justice, chronologically game wise, Apollo Justice came out before this, and takes place after, like, well into the future, after the trilogy ends. The reason we're playing Investigations or Gyakuten Kenji is because this takes place about a month, roughly a month. The game says a month after the end of Trials and Tribulations. So Iris's trial was on February 10th and 9th and 10th, and this starts on March 12th. So it's been about a month. So after the end of the trilogy, Miles fucking bounced. He just bounced. And then
To be fair, he dropped everything and ran.
Yeah, he did. He dropped everything, chartered a 14-hour flight, thinking his not quite yet boyfriend was dead. And yeah, so he fucking bounced. He comes back a month later, and then the next 2 games take place in the span of shit. Let me look at my timeline here. I think it's a couple of weeks, but it could be like 2 weeks to a month. All of the insanity that happens in these games. Okay, let's see. March 12th. And then March 12th is when Miles's stuff starts, and then April 8th is when it ends, technically.
So like 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, it all happens in the span of like 3.5 weeks. Miles has the most hectic ass time. And it's like, oh, a month. That's a lot. There's so much shit that happens, guys. Oh my god. There's so much that happens. This series is so good with character development. Like, a lot of Francisca's character development comes from the Investigations games. So really quickly, the reception of these games did amazingly in Japan. I'll tell you guys that right fucking now. But like the numbers, Katie's gonna appreciate this too, are really, really good. Ace Attorney Investigations in Japan sold 172,000 units in its first week release in Japan, and 42,000 the following week. In both cases, the game was the second best-selling DS title in Japan. You want to guess what the first one is, Katie? You know it. You've played it. You have a love relationship with it. You really don't like a character in it.
The World Ends With You?
No.
Oh.
Close though. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days.
Oh, okay.
It came second only to Kingdom Hearts.
Fair enough.
In June 2009, an interview with Ishido revealed that, considering the positive fan reaction to the game, another Kenji game would possibly be developed in the future. This eventually came to pass with Gyakuten Kenji 2. In the US, it received positive reviews from critics, and that's all that they say. They tell you what the critics say. Fans, though, fans were pissed. Having been on like the ground floor, it wasn't as, excuse me, it wasn't as bad as like Mass Effect 3, but like fans weren't happy. Fans wanted, fans definitely wanted more of the courtroom stuff. They were just really unhappy with the style of this, and printing cartridges can get expensive. Not only that, pretty much right after Gyakuten Kenji 2 released, the team was dissolved, or it dissolved of its own accord. I cannot remember exactly which, but I did read that pretty recently. So that is one of the many reasons it did not get an English port. And it is probably never going to get an official English port because the fan translation is now so popular. The reason, like, we got the Grade Ace Attorney is because the fan translation hadn't really been out for too long. Like, I didn't play the fan translation, let me put it that way. But I did for Gyakuten Kenji 2. It's very iconic. They got voice actors. They made it more like more like its own entry in the Ace Attorney series, whereas the Dai Gyakuten, so the Great Ace Attorney games, were just kind of straight translated. They didn't really try to give it like the Capcom flair, like the Gyakuten Kenji 2 team did. So but they pulled in a ton of people to do voice lines and stuff like that. They pulled in voice actors. It was really big. It was a really big project on the site Court Records, but as Court Records faded kind of into obscurity, it's kind of a ghost town now, unfortunately. There are some people still kicking, especially on the forums, but again, the forums are also kind of a ghost town. People kind of turned to Reddit, and Reddit, in this case, doesn't really know. So, like, doesn't really know a lot of, like, what went on behind the scenes and stuff like that. Anyone who does is likely from Court Records. Not to throw shade at Reddit, it's just Court Records was just like the place to find any kind of Ace Attorney thing. It was very, very niche. So, yeah. So that's what there is about investigations. So it in Apolojustice, like I mentioned again in my intro video, didn't do too well, which is why I think they laid off the physical copies for Ace Attorney 5 and 6. And I was very pleasantly surprised that we got physical copies of the Great Ace Attorney, because I was certainly not expecting that. So, without further ado, this is me as the main character now instead of Katie. So Katie gets to kind of kick back a little bit.
I get to sit here and eat popcorn and do nothing.
Yeah, it's Miles, so there's Gumshoe, so there's it's a pretty me heavy performance, so you're welcome, and I'm sorry.
I don't know why you're apologizing.
So maybe some people don't like my voice acting.
Then why are they here?
That's very true. Because yours are better?
That is a lie, and we both know it.
No. You bring the fucking pathos, dude. I reiterate, you made me and chat cry on multiple occasions.
Yay.
So, okay, episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. You look like a douche, dude. So
Everyone claims to be a prodigy, but I don't think they know what that word means anymore.
you keep on using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Yeah, more or less.
um, so, couple of things. This is our tutorial case, so of course, like with every other, Ace Attorney game, we're going to know who the culprit is right off the bat. This is Ace Attorney. They still let you know that stuff. At least in the tutorial. And then there is something where I'm not going to be there is going to be no voice for a character, so there is no spoilers later on, because obviously it's a mystery that's going to be solved. So we're just leaving the dialogue quiet. So not even an hour later, I forgot I actually made it so my cursor cannot be seen, because number 3, I'm going to have to awkwardly click around the place to get Miles to run, because this is not compatible with any kind of gamepad whatsoever. So I'm going to have to do a lot. This is officially turned into a point and click. And it can get a little awkward to control Miles sometimes. So yeah, less than an hour later, and they actually remembered the proper room number and everything. But they were developing Rise from the Ashes too, and that's when they gave us his room number from Apollo Justice, so it was pretty fresh in their heads that he was 1202. Oh god, I have to remember my Edgeworth now. Shit.
Good luck.
Thanks. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What would you be doing here at 2 in the morning? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? Also, welcome, Katie, to the orange text, the proper text.
Don't at me.
What the? What's the meaning of this? Identify yourself. You've got some nerve committing a murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. I think the game volume's a little high, sorry. All right. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that after my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. To put it lightly. These two games are like Miles's impending ulcer. They're just his oncoming ulcer.
The fact that this man hasn't just collapsed is a goddamn miracle.
Yeah, there was one fic I read where he worked himself, you know the one I'm talking about, where he worked himself too hard and he got appendicitis.
Yeah.
His appendix just fucking exploded. You know what? That would be on par with Miles.
It just said, fuck this shit, you need a break.
Yeah. I'm gonna nearly kill you to have it happen. So yeah, one thing you guys are gonna notice, we get these, I find them frankly amazing little sprites. And we still get the Ace Attorney kind of like close-ups as well. but they're definitely different sprites. Like this is, they're like, I just in my head I like lovingly refer to them as like the chibi sprites. But as you can,
Oh, the full body sprites versus the profile.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the profile ones are more of what we expect from Ace Attorney. But like, oh my god, these little full body ones, I love them. I love the pixels because they remember the detail, the amount of detail they put into these games. I think is frankly astounding. Because like just right now, case in point, Miles's office looks exactly like it did in Rise from the Ashes. Number one, because there's the flowers from Old Bag, there's his old shadow box of the old suit, the Steel Samurai figurine that Old Bag sent him. I'm not gonna make the joke that Prosody and Mankey did. And the King of Prosecutors trophy, but also Miles is doing his little tick of tapping his arm impatiently. So a lot of people also just did not like this this style change, and I loved it. I thought it was really fun. Oh, you want to be random for forensics man?
Finish photographing the victim's body, sir.
Very well. Please continue your investigation.
Yes, sir.
Poor any forensics guy that's there with Miles, like, they know their job's on the line.
Yeah.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Are you okay, sir? Oh, keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. What is this, the murder weapon? Get off my dick! Tell me you're from the days of Vine without telling me you're from the days of Vine. Damn it. I'm so
I want to see my little boy.
Here he comes. Oh man, fuck. It's just like, it's literally part of the Vine. Like, this is a crime scene. What is this, a murder weapon? Get off my dick. Ironically, my name's also Dick. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here right away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... look at what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa.
Ignoring the dead,
dead
and
body?
copious amounts of blood.
I think he's just...
How dare you track dirt into my office?
How dare you track dirt into my office? I think he's just trying to cope. It's 2 in the morning, this stupid asshole. I say so lovingly, but this stupid asshole decided, in landing in LA, to go to his fucking office.
But for him, it's like 11 in the morning.
Yeah, but bro, you gotta get used to LA time zones again. Bro. Miles. Hasn't enough bad shit happened around you, Miles? As these games will prove, evidently not. Whoa, sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Wow, Gumshoe came back to me so fast. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. I'm gonna read this out, and then I'm actually gonna go into a talk about the game mechanic here, because this was also heavily criticized. So I'll keep any leads or information we may find etched into the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Oh my god, what is that font? Sorry. Really, I'm like playing this anew on like HD, so I'm used to like the DS, so like, wow, that's new font. It's a little shock for me. I get the nagging feeling this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really, especially because of this. The key to your office? The office key. For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? You mean... you know, putting two and two together, which Mr. Wright doesn't really do? That? Yes, detective. That. By finding the connection...
Y'all are being mean to him, and he's not even awake to defend himself.
Rolls over in his sleep. Shut up, Miles.
Pretty much.
Did you think we forgot about the Magatama thing? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the basic premise of logic, detective. How did you make it this far? How did you make it to detective? I just don't know how your logic works, sir. I mean, your head's like a, I don't know. I would say a bag of cats, but I think that makes more sense, sir. I'm sorry. You're insufferable. This is why you get your salary cut all the time, detective. So a lot of people were like, oh, ooh, Phoenix gets a Magatama. Apollo gets his gimmick, which is trippy and cool. Miles gets basic logic, and it's like, all right. My defense of this, because I just need to like do it right now, is because people are like, oh wow, how is Miles such an esteemed prosecutor when, you know, he just thinks things through logically, and it's like, all right. One,
that's how he does it.
well, that, and yeah, because everyone else is emotional as shit, and so one, that, and two, like some of these are just like good-natured joke. Like I know Awkward Zombie Comics did one about it, and it's very funny actually. But like there are some people that are serious about it, and I'm like, oh, y'all taking everything too literally here. But two, Miles is actually brilliant. To me, this is the interpretation they give us, the audience, of how like to dumb it down. Like, because yeah, he was Manfred von Karma's prodigy, so of course, you know, like, it's not like this is the result of von Karma's teachings, you know, it's more of like, this is, you know, just kind of how we have to perceive how his logic works, because his mind is too fucking complicated for us to understand. That's how I always interpreted it anyway. But yeah, Katie's point, I think, is even more important. When everyone else is freaking the fuck out, Miles stays calm. So, eh.
There are very few times he loses his composure.
Most of them are here. Crime scene.
The other time is Shelly the Killer's card.
Yes. Oh my god, he lost his shit. And the other time is when he thought Nick was dead. Crime scene, my office. Is it really a coincidence that the murder took place in my office? The office key. For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. I do like their explanation for the green bar. I think this is like the most clever explanation used in an Ace Attorney game for the green bar. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room What was the killer after? The killer's goal. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after?
You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir.
Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. See, that actually sounds like something Miles would think, and it's like the perfect explanation for the green bar. Like, if he starts thinking and throwing, you know, essentially pulling a Nick, throwing wild accusations around too much, he's gonna get way too far away from the truth, and game over.
Unlike Nick, he usually has an idea what's going on, so Nick throwing accusations can only bring him closer.
Exactly. Yeah, because we're doing this from the prosecutor's point of view. We're doing this from the point of view of people who know what the fuck is going on. Unlike defense attorneys. I say very affectionately, they are robbed so hard.
They're left in the dark.
They really are. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow just fine. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we?
Yes, sir.
High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202.
The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir.
I know that. And I know when I want to examine something, I simply do so.
Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just, you can talk to me, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir.
Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Miles, that's mean. As penance, talk.
You called, sir?
Oh god, you guys could have stretched that out over Gummy. It's already over him. You could have Is that just me or does that look squished?
That's just you.
Oh, it looks squished to me.
No, that's just you.
Okay. Is there anything you noticed that you'd like to share, Detective Gumshoe?
Just that I rushed over here as soon as I heard there was a murder in your office, sir. The investigation's just gotten started, so I guess there's not much else to say. So, were you the one that found the body, Mr. Edgeworth?
Unfortunately, upon my return, I found my office door to be unlocked. And what awaited me inside was this whole messy affair.
Ouch, that's rough.
Even though I left the security of this room to a certain detective...
Sorry, sir.
I assume you understand how to conduct investigations, Detective Gumshoe.
Of course, sir. Examine things by, pointing to them. And then, looking at them and examining them and inspecting them. By checking various things out, we gather evidence and information. You can see the evidence we collected by, checking your organizer, sir, because I know that's where you like everything. For information,
for information and leads, we use logic.
That's it. Great job, sir. Deductive reasonable is the way to go.
It's called deductive reasoning. Detective. Clearly something you lack. Look at Gummy's face! I love these 3/4 sprites.
Yeah.
They're like some of my favorites. And investigations gets pretty in-depth with them too. They get pretty intricate. So we're not going to look at the obvious right now.
Oh, they even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games.
I had no idea you were interested in chess.
I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try.
In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. Do you have anything to report?
Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet, there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes.
Oh, was it the dead body?
Yes, sir.
Talk about a contradiction. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, please try not to be too hard on them, okay? They got woken up in the middle of the night and they rushed over here as soon as possible. Graveyard shift doesn't really... I mean, they're there, but they're not really there.
I suppose he's right. I'll take a look around a bit more. Gummy standing up for his fellow cops. He would.
You would.
How is it coming along?
Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art.
Well, I never.
The delicate art? Mr. Wright was running around with a teenager that was just smacking powder on everything.
Well, I mean, they don't want to get yelled at, so...
Yeah, true. I hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on this sofa. Miles, when do you ever fucking relax on that thing?
That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too? Just for a little while, sir.
Detective Gumshoe, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest.
Oh, you're right, sir. I'm gonna work real hard and be a real trooper to the end.
Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off.
Why would that be, Miles?
Yes, is it because you and your sister keep cutting his fucking salary? Is this yet another batch of fresh flowers? The ones that come with a card attached every month, like clockwork. Oh, sorry, that's Gumshoe. Ha!
The ones that come with a card attached every month like clockwork for you? Yup. Speaking of that, let's see what's on the card this month, sir. All will be resolved, Wendy.
Oh, Miss Irony, how painful are thy thorns.
Wendy, isn't that the name of that old lady with the whiny voice that's stuck?
That's enough, detective. You need not remind me further. Ugh. Glad she's banned from the prosecutor's office.
I always imagine she just, like, got dragged out, kicking and screaming.
Yup, same. Well, it's a good thing my steel samurai doll was spared any harm.
Speaking of which, I haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again?
Oh no. Oh no! I just read the dialogue! Miles, you fucking liar! You're a dirty fucking liar! I have to read this with a straight face.
Good luck.
Good luck mode. Hyper good luck mode. That's exactly what my brain went to. What have you done?
You're welcome.
October 7th. A week from Friday. Well, I don't know much about it myself, but the hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of New Old Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai, and his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and a riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Spin-offs like A Pink Princess, Warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and The Nickel Samurai, along with the deluge of merchandise, and even a new stage show gives it presence.
You sure know a lot. Are you sure you're not some sort of rabid fanboy?
Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. And that
Miles, when have you ever kept up with society?
And that conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation and do not touch that.
Oh, it's your trophy. The, Knight of Prosecutors, right?
King. King of prosecutors. And it's not a trophy, it's a shield.
They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right?
Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself.
That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime.
Fortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Yeah, this is why he can't afford to rest, Miles. Correlation does equal causation in this case.
Ah, watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir.
That killer is going to pay. This tea set.
Yikes! You're really mad over this.
This tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. It cost more than your whole month's paycheck.
Well, what? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks.
Miles, move! Honey!
Your files are all over the floor, sir.
And they probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer.
Oh, and I tried to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless.
I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room.
Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place till it sparkled.
Does he have a life? I thought he started seeing someone. What? I feel like Miles would know about that because Gumshoe would not like stop talking about the fact that he has like the love of his life.
No,
Okay.
he wouldn't. He's an
Okay.
excitable puppy.
Yes. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here.
I think I've seen one of these before.
Care to enlighten me as to where?
Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think.
Detective.
I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it.
So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. Revolver found at the crime scene, it's the same model as those used by precinct detectives. Oh, I don't want the sofa. Oh, no, I clicked too fast and Miles went running. I don't think I can get there until he goes away.
Nope.
They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Get used to saying that.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, oh, the catch line. It's just in my head. I'm like, this is the investigations version of this reminds me of a puzzle. What do we have here?
Hey, I think I've seen one of these before.
It's a police badge, detective.
Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinkydink.
Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. According to
I'm not gonna lie, every time I read his name, I just think of the Weezer song Buddy Holly.
That's a good song. That's excellent. According to his badge and ID, Buddy Faith was a precinct detective. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now, to use some logic and see if any of these connect to each other. No, Miles, we're going to investigate because I say so.
Your files are all over the floor, sir.
They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, okay, we've already read this. Oh, but we still get the same speed because we're getting a different angle of said conversation. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area.
It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir.
In other words, he was shot.
Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that.
And please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Crime scene notes jotted down in his organizer.
Are you gonna be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir?
Of course, this is the safest way I know to keep track of it all.
All right, if you say so.
I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to open my organizer and review everything. But it isn't only for evidence, I do keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. The real question is there a secret picture of Nick in there?
Probably.
Questions he may or may not be asked by his by another assistant, maybe.
I don't believe it. I packed those files on the shelves so tight that not even an earthquake could make them fall off, but just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all.
A problem, to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. Gummy, honey.
And not talk about any more earthquakes ever.
Yeah, oh, honey. Gummy. Sweetie. All right. And we get to see prosecutors' badges now. This is what they look like. They are modeled after the sun, while defense attorneys' badges are modeled after sunflowers, which is why Nick always chases Miles. He's always looking for the sun. And yes, it is actually covered in the translation of Gyakuten Kenji too. That's not just like not Nick, but like the fact that it's the sun. One of my possessions. I will say he's very clinical about it. Proof of my profession, however, I prefer to keep it in my pocket. Like, Miles is just so like, meh. Like blasé about it, whereas like Nick is so proud of his badge.
Shoves it in everyone's face.
Yeah, I mean, Miles can do that too now. The bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found at around 2:05 in the morning. Oh, I can't check that. Ah! 29-year-old Buddy Faith, a detective in this precinct and the victim. Why was he killed in my office? Gummy. Homicide detective at the local precinct in charge of the initial investigation. Okay. So the victim was a detective and the revolver. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Would it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time?
Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What do we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster.
So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Victim's revolver data jotted down in the organizer. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver.
As I always say, you gotta look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You just turn it all around and put your eye up against it, and
No, detective, do not look down the barrel of the gun, please.
Gummy, no.
It looks like only one round was fired from this.
wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to
Fuck.
Pants it.
Jim!
Yeah, just pants it.
Why? Oh, why? How could this happen to a guy like you?
Full points for him body checking Gumshoe. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
He's fucking Gumshoe's a fucking truck. Are you alright?
Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be!
Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body.
The body? The body? Don't talk about like him, he's just a lump of flesh. Look at him! Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night.
What?
I don't know, sir. He just looks dead to me. Sure, just in a bloodstained suit, pal.
Where are my manners?
Aren't you that prosecutor?
Why, yes I am. I'm Jacques Portman, prosecutor.
Yes, I thought so.
Jim here was my partner in crime busting.
What? Isn't his name Buddy?
It's a little joke we had.
I see.
Why don't we have jokes like that, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm going to refrain from being cruel. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor.
Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. What was he gonna say that was so mean?
So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office.
Yes, that is correct.
Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim!
Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay?
I will not! I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors are all locked and all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door.
That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. I mean, he was tying up a lot of loose ends because he came, like, screaming around the world.
Detective, that is quite enough. He just needs to know that I've been on a business trip and not why. Thank you.
And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. I didn't do it.
So it was you then. You're Jim's killer.
I just said I didn't do it, pal.
I don't believe you.
Well, no way. You got it all wrong.
Everyone calm down.
Huh?
Mr. Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected.
Jim!
I'm just thinking about every time Miles has lost his shit on the bench, every time Francisca lost her shit on the bench, Payne lost his shit so hard he lost his pompadour. I'm thinking of future prosecutors. I'm thinking of prosecutors from the past who throw things.
all willy-nilly throws things.
Very classily, though. Oh my god. Oh.
I just love the lazy throw one, though.
Oh, just like the careless toss that's like, fuck this shit, I'm done.
Yeah.
I like the what is a man toss. The first time I saw that, I'm like, thank you so much for paying homage, Capcom. Regardless, prosecutors are so fucking extra. That's why I love them.
So you want to be a prosecutor? Yeah. Are you extra?
What do you mean? Are you fucking extra? If you were found guilty of a crime, would you smash your face into the fucking wall behind you, screaming death for everyone?
I mean, no.
Then you're not.
Then I'm sorry. The job. You can't. I'm sorry. This interview is done.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? I just wanted to be a prosecutor in Los Angeles. He goes to like fucking like Washington or some shit. You know, like he goes to like, I don't know, like Portland, and it's like he just gets the job. And he's like, what the fuck was going on there? What is
Everyone
wrong?
wonders that.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's pretty much like universally, I guess, accepted that like all American prosecutors are just like this. So he goes,
They're extra as fuck.
Yep.
All right, I get the point.
I don't know if I read my line or not, but Miles was telling everyone to calm their tits.
You're right. My mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes.
Yeah, you're telling me, pal.
Detective.
You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know?
Nice jab, sportsman. I've heard all the rumors about you. Douche.
Anyway, let's call it a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal?
A pleasure to work with you.
You guys weren't conducting an investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on, then. It's your room, after all.
Thank you. I intend to.
I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there! Sir!
What?
I want you to capture this scene on film for me.
That's a little macabre.
My final farewell to my partner, Jim.
A bit ghoulish, if I had to say so myself. I should probably give them some space. Get over to the Brentworth suit! Get! This is as far to the corner as Miles can get. Get in the corner, Miles.
You're in timeout.
Is this entire playthrough going to be, 1, full of chaotic sibling energy, and 2, me completely fucking around? Yes and yes.
Yes. Professionalism, what's that?
You gave me a Miles Edgeworth game. There's no such thing.
Ah, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor?
It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round.
So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your your prosecutorial debut in? I just got so worked up, sir, I couldn't even say it right. What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster!
It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here.
Huh? Like what?
I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There's a giant contradiction right here in front of us.
Really?
First starts the many of gay.
Did you think they forgot about the right worth? They did not forget about the right worth.
Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way.
Were you thinking about Mr. Right again, sir?
When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you thinking of Mr. Right?
This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies.
Oh no, I think I lost him.
When I spot something that's off, I don't know how to say this normally. That's off. I should deduce with conviction.
She'll poke a button with conviction.
Yeah. This is how I do things. There was only one shot fired. How could there be two? Nerd. I actually love that he says Eureka, though. That's such like an outdated phrase.
For an outdated man.
I had soda in my mouth.
You're welcome.
Oh, you know what that does. Oh, man.
It almost causes a car crash.
Yeah, that too. True story. Oh, man. This bullet
Now-
hole is the what?
I was now Buddy Holly's just really stuck in my head because I started singing it. So if I start breaking out into song, just
It's totally fine.
ignore me.
No, you're fine. This bullet hole is the contradiction.
Oh my god, I thought we lost you, sir. Thought you were thinking about Mr. Right.
What? Why? Detective, after the day I had, why would I be...
No. Well, what do you mean then, sir?
It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room.
Were you reading Sherlock Holmes again, sir?
Sherlock Sholmes.
Yeah, that's totally what I said.
The first felled the victim. And the second felled this frame.
Hey, that's right.
However, this gun was only fired once.
Hey, that's true too.
Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight?
By the way, I noticed something, sir.
Yes.
What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame?
Ah, that. It's a secret safe.
Secret safe? Oh, I smell money.
I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. I just saw if you could kindly, and I was like... I just had, like, flashbacks. It's too close to would you kindly.
Would you kindly?
Yeah. Gumshoe's not a sleeper agent, no.
Roger that. Achoo! Achoo! Talk about dusty.
I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while.
I had no idea there was a safe here, else I would have kept it clean for you, sir. So, when did you put this thing in?
It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one.
Really? I had no idea.
Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence.
So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth?
Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session.
And he also took the blue binder that he has out of there. Actually, no, for him it would be a trapper keeper.
Yeah, it would be a trapper keeper. Fucking nerd. I love him.
That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams.
It's evidence discovered in my office. Thank you, Miles. Very succinct. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
I never knew there was a safe hidden back here.
Well, if detectives knew about them, then they wouldn't be so secret, now would they?
Are there any other secret hidden things in this room?
Even if there were, it would defeat the purpose of them being hidden if I told you. So don't bother looking for them.
So there's no, like, hidden camera around, right?
And what if there was?
No, it's nothing. Forget I said anything. I'm not thinking about you going and erasing footage.
Do I even want to
I was
ask
gonna
what
say,
he's
I was
doing in
thinking
my
more
office?
I was thinking more along the lines of he's now embarrassed of being caught kissing Maggie on film.
Aww. Like, let's go to Mr. Edgeworth's office. He always locks it. I've got the key.
Aw, that's cute.
You're welcome for that wholesome image.
Aw. Yeah, do I even want to ask what he's been doing in my office while I've been away?
Kissing Maggie.
Kissing Maggie. Mm. Now this is odd.
You found something, sir?
This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean?
Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself.
You there, the forensic scientist. Please stop taking pictures. It's incredibly tasteless.
Also probably gonna get him in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I will tell that
Please don't, sir.
the
I'm coming.
The head of forensics, what you've been doing.
Please, no, sir. I don't want to get yelled at
Yeah,
again.
you know what she thinks of that.
Ugh.
Could you please dust this area for fingerprints?
You got it, sir.
Hmm.
I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down.
Wiped fingerprints. All the fingerprints on this have been wiped clean off. Secret safe data updated. As I thought. It appears that logic is once again the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information that we have. First off, just for funsies, I love doing this to people. Oh, I forgot I could just press the partner button. I keep getting close to Gumshoe like I need to talk to him.
You called, sir?
I seem to have picked up a few good leads.
Oh, so now you're gonna do that thing you do with all the information, right?
What are you babbling about?
The Brady thing you were talking about just a few minutes ago, sir. The logic. That's it. You said that you can look at all your leads and info by using logic. Then you pick the pieces you want to connect and you connect them. That's your way of investigating, right, sir?
Yes, which is why this exercise in explaining my own method to me was unnecessary.
Okay, then how about I explain my logic to you next?
That is even more unnecessary. Look at my badge, Gummy!
Your prosecutor's badge is really tiny compared to my police badge. Oh, but it's really cool, sir. Much cooler than my badge could ever be.
There's no need to suck up to me, detective.
Oh, but I meant it though. I'm just a lowly detective, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to arrest it.
Is that the only talent you have? Oh, wait.
Nah, he's good at making ramen too.
Yeah, he's really good at making ramen.
Gladio would be jealous.
Oh my god, would he ever. And also, weenies.
And weenies. He makes very good weenies.
The victim's gun, huh? It's the same model as mine.
A tool used to protect lives, yet one that can also take lives away. Those who take a gun in hand wield great responsibility. I hope you understand that.
I don't really use my gun at all, sir. The only time I would use this baby is when I'm fighting a hot duel with a convict to look ultra cool.
You were doing so well until that last bit.
I had no idea you had one of these things. I mean, I thought I knew everything there is to know about you, Mr. Edgeworth. I mean, I even know about your blue trapper keeper.
My what?
Yeah, you've got a false bottom in one of your drawers, and you've got a blue trapper keeper. And
Detective! Salary cut! If you continue this, especially within hearing range of another prosecutor.
I feel like I've caught a glimpse of the hidden side of Miles Edgeworth.
There's a great deal you don't know about me. At least that's what I hoped about 2 minutes ago. Gummy knows everything.
Everyone knows about your big dumb crush.
I know. And everyone knows about his big dumb crush. You two are the only two that aren't doing anything about your big dumb crushes. You
Well, I mean, maybe something could happen if he didn't, like, jet off as soon as the court day was over.
Yeah, like after the dinner, he was like, goodbye.
By the way, I'm heading to the airport. Goodbye.
I'm going back to Germany. Yes, farewell. Like even Franziska stuck around longer than that. Fuck. I'm just now seeing what you put in this in our screen share chat. It's perfect.
It's true.
It's so true. So yeah, just like Nick, we can annoy people. Okay, I think we use more logic here. Maybe.
I was about to say something incredibly stupid, and I refrained from it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, that's the most logical thing. I'm just gonna go drink bleach now.
No.
Goodbye.
No! Get back here. Get back here. Snake? Snake? Snake!
Snacky. You don't know what that's from. I'm sorry, we're old.
John Madden, John Madden, John Madden. John Madden, sadly. Oh, Christ.
You're welcome for that.
Hey, you. Oh my god, that's all I could think of. I know he was so important in the football world, but all I could think of was that video. I was like, no! Oh. Wasn't he a commentator?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my dad used to watch him a lot. I believe I figured out what the murderer was after.
Well, what is it, sir?
The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. Motive theft? The culprit tried to open my safe. Was the killer's motive theft? I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. There is a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer.
Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir?
Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library.
Sure. Let's give that a try.
Why do all the good ones die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth.
No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth.
And what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth?
First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place.
You got it. Here, let me help.
Hey, pal, first off, I know how Mr. Edgeworth's files are arranged, alright?
Well, I'm helping, because it's Jim who died.
Well, just let me take the lead, okay, pal? So, this file goes here, and that book goes there. No, other there. Yeah.
You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office.
He always sounds like a fucking snooty asshole, like a snooty high schooler, and I just want to punch him.
Well, yay, I'm conveying that, I hope.
Oh, I mean, I just said it unprompted, so...
I don't know.
Yeah, you absolutely are.
Fucking-
Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal! Okay, we're done. I'm done.
It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here.
Ugh. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh.
I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf.
And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out.
Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now.
But you know I'm no good with blood, sir.
I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Yeah. If he was killed standing up, why'd a bullet down there?
So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh?
For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred.
And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way.
Let's see. If I'm to point out a contradiction... Yeah, if it went through his abdomen, yeah, exactly. That's what I needed. There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole.
What do you mean, sir?
You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up.
But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir?
That would be illogical. The victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot.
Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir?
It means that you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mind, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused the problem with the bullet hole's position? Order those files. I believe that the order of the files is a bit off.
It was him! It was him!
What? No, it wasn't.
It was him! I know where every file goes, pal.
Yeah, you put that file there.
You mean I put him back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir.
Oh?
Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot began with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. I never would have put that down there.
Actually, the way they're organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye.
But the numbers are all out of order.
Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out.
You think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved?
They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith.
And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess.
Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim.
But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time?
Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? The culprit rearranged my files twice, once before and once after the murder. Why?
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 Why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. I'm to give it another look.
These handprints belong to the victim, right?
Welcome! You made it!
Hey!
You have a good time at con? Helping with books? Book sales? Sweet, no problem. Good, I'm glad. Say hi to your friend for us. This is the one you were editing, right? And the one that I have on my Kindle Unlimited? I believe. Oh, sorry, I needed a drink. Aw, 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 aw.
Aw.
Aw. We love you. Yes! Yay! That's what I thought. Cool. I still need to give his book a read.
These handprints,
Hamplints. The
Pamphlets.
Hamplints. It's very hard to have, like, banter with yourself. It's much easier bantering with you. Oh, God.
these handprints belong to the victim, right? They make sense with the body position.
Hand plants. I like hand plants. Yes, he must have left them when he was trying to support himself after he was shot. However, the final position of the body shows that it was moved. I need to go over this crime scene with a fine-tooth comb one more time. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be.
And we figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice.
Indeed. There are many things the killer did that don't make sense. But to figure out the whys, we need more information.
Like this bloody writing?
This.
What is that? Why does it say gumshoe on there in blood?
I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence.
Yes, indicative of a criminal activity indeed.
No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir.
It appears that one of my files was stolen.
Miles, you're such a jackass.
No!
Arrest that detective. One of my files was stolen. Ah, Gumshoe, goodbye. I didn't know you were leaving.
Chat, files, you jerk! Oh god, how does our audio sound, by the way? Versus the game? We've had to play it, like, completely. Like, just, by the seat of our, or I've had to by the seat of our pants. Oh my god, Miles, you piece of shit.
Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation?
Is this what the killer was really after? Stolen file data jotted down.
Gumshoe!
He mad.
He's so mad.
Miles isn't coming to his rescue.
No. It's your line?
Oh.
I know, it's hard to tell who's talking.
Yangor.
Looks like Jim was able to leave us a name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party.
If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up.
Jim's words. They're more than enough, wouldn't you say?
If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning.
You got it.
I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude, other than the fact that he's incredibly tactless.
Yeah, he was just like fucking posing with the dead body,
I know,
essentially.
right? Literally no, bro. You've not played the last 3 games? Corbin's been sniffing his own ass, are you kidding me? And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig it out.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do?
What I always do in court, I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose. I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique.
Ooh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir?
Mr. Detective Gumshoe, you've seen me in court. You don't.
You okay there?
I have to share that. Oh my god. Hang on. I'm gonna pause the stream, or I'm gonna pause the recording really quick. Hang on with the recording. Just hang on, guys. So Mod put this in chat, and it made me laugh way too hard. Katie just goes, "It's Portsman with Buddy." It's too good, Katie. Fuck.
I mean, true, and if I had any Photoshop skills, I'd edit it.
What, like his face?
Yeah.
And then just Buddy Faith. Okay, you just gave me ideas, so
Yep.
just remind me to do that after stream.
I remember.
Okay. Well, now that I've said it, it's on record. Okay. Okay. Holy shit. Mr. Portsman, if you are ready.
Oh, if you don't have time, you could just say so, sir.
You've seen me in court. I remember everything and also nothing.
Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters that his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice.
You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer.
I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest.
Are you sure that you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? Mirroring. Chapra.
Cha.
You did that way better than I did.
Chapra. Whatever that word means.
That is absolutely Portsman. Justice and stuff. Fuck. Ah. There is no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. I came by the office to pick one thing up and then was going back to my apartment. Oh, wow. Okay. Look at this little press button. It's... Oh my god.
Relax, bruh. Just ride the wave of deduction.
Thank you.
You're welcome, chat.
You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask.
Huh? What is it?
Why are you the way that you are?
Because I'm awesome.
Ugh. Why do you call the victim Jim? I'm going to rehash this once again. When clearly his name is Buddy Faith.
Well, you see, isn't it obvious? Jim is a perfect name for my companion. Jack and Jim. The two names just go together like peanut butter and jam.
But Jimin isn't even close to the guy's real name.
I also might have started singing a song or something. Well, Jack and Buddy just sounds off somehow.
Implying Jacques Portsman started singing Buddy Holly?
Ooh, I look just like Buddy Holly. Oh, when you marry Tyler Moore.
The first time he does that, Buddy's just like, call me Jim. Like, he tries to insist that Jock's like, my name's Buddy, and like the one time he does it, just Buddy Holly comes out of Jock's mouth, like, not to be a dick, but just because it's there. And then he's like, alright, call me Jim, fuck it.
Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim.
Oh my god, he was Jim the Third.
Jim the Third.
He talks about the victim like he was his pet. Buddy, like, ah, yes, a joke I haven't heard a million times my whole life, thanks. Pretty much.
Nice.
Yes. Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that?
That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft.
Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth?
Cha.
You don't even need to read that line, you just said it!
Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle.
I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. My girlfriend cooks them all for me.
How did you get a girlfriend?
Excuse me, sir. She's the most gorgeous woman in the whole world. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles because we're both kind of tight on cash, but...
Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you have paired up with. And what a motive, no?
And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing?
Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway.
Chat going, what's a motive? Pretty much just summed that whole thing up. Like, what's a motive? Nothing. What's a motive with you? What's a motto? Nothing. What's a motto with you? Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters?
The body was covering it quite well. Wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something.
Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal.
There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone.
I can't say I disagree with him on that point.
Well, why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence.
I couldn't ask for a better setup. For the game finishing spike.
I was gonna say, if this is a fucking volleyball joke, I'm gonna fucking hit you in the head, and yeah, there it is. I'll just casually be taking a bat to Portsman's head.
What do you got against volleyball?
Nothing, it's just that he makes sports jokes. I'm remembering this. Like, he just talks sports all the time. Yes, sir, go back to your anime. Are you saying that these letters were intended for you?
Yep, Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my former partner.
It looks like Mr. Portsman still doesn't understand. He has yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters.
What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit your logic's isn't perfectly sound? Or can you admit my logic is blah? Whatever.
Either way, it worked. Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in his logic. A gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. Now to clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence. Bye! Thank you for stopping in, especially during con, and take care of your phone battery. Oh, show. We love you!
Love.
It here. It here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, it's not. Oop. Yeah, I fucked up. Shit. Thought he was hiding. Oh, duh. We just jumped to the conclusion that it spells gumshoe. There's still a file missing. I derped. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic.
Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this. I see. No problem. I'm game.
I feel like he's from High School Musical.
I would not know. I've never seen High School Musical.
Me neither. Oh, God. I was blessed, thankfully. To never see it. Of course I am. We're prosecutors. I can't help but find it odd.
Excuse me.
Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office.
What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it.
If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another, closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? Also, can we just appreciate this triumphant music, which is a leitmotif of of Miles's theme? I love it.
Yeah.
The soundtracks for these two games are like chef's kiss. The second one especially, I would argue, has some of the best tracks in all of Ace Attorney. Like, it's one of the best soundtracks in all of Ace Attorney.
It is really good. What? That's impossible.
What's impossible, Mr. Portsman?
Nothing.
The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines.
It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder.
I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name, where the file should be, is proof.
Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half an H.
If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name being written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood.
Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message?
It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene.
That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir! You'll see, I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time.
Well, Mr. Portsman?
Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserves an Olympic gold.
I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed.
You win some, you lose some. That's how life goes.
Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive.
Yeah, but you know, it's really a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up. However...
What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office?
That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal.
I will admit, I like this animation.
That's absolutely right. And I acknowledge your innocence.
The jacket on and off, not the
Yeah.
gold metter. Wow. I was thinking winner and trying to say metal. Help. Wasabi.
There is no help.
Old Bag was somehow involved, therefore we are losing our minds. She was
You started to read it in a light, like a diet hurt voice. That's why.
Well, did I really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh,
You summoned it. You summoned the insanity. It's your fault.
the note?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah, so you summoned her insanity.
Yeah. When am I ever gonna say no to Old Bag? Bro.
So now you have no right to be wondering why we're insane right now.
I realized it afterwards. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say?
Well, I was thinking, did you know that there's one other person with the key to this office?
I thought he was having a stroke for a moment. So he was like, eerie. The fucking jacket. One other person.
He was flapping his jacket like wings. I can't blame him. I do that.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially like when you pull your hands back, or yeah, you pull your hands like back into the sleeves and you flap them like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fun. One other person. We're both over 30.
I never claimed that I was an adult.
That's fair.
I might be old, but I am not an adult. Hey, you there. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady up here for me?
We were just talking about that earlier.
Would you kindly kill the son of a bitch?
Hey, Alice's line in Jacques' voice.
You're welcome.
Ow! My brain is snapping itself in half. I love you.
You're welcome.
A lady.
The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness.
Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal, don't!
What's wrong with him all of a sudden?
I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security.
Maggie!
Detective Gumshoe, sir.
Maggie! Oh! I thought you didn't work night shift tonight.
I told you I did, sir.
I'm so sorry, Maggie, I forgot. That would explain why you weren't at your apartment, though. Maggie!
Oh. Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight.
I see. And your point is?
My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the building's office door, or can open all the office doors in this building.
What?
If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, there's only the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you! I would never sneak into someone's office.
That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right. I did it.
Can we take that as a confession, detective?
Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right?
And please refrain from flying off the handle, detective. There's no need for such theatrics.
Listen to your boss, detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime. And for one simple reason. Which we should probably take a break before we get into this.
Yeah, we are going to take a break and then defend Maggie and her new design, which is my favorite actually out of all the ones we've seen.
She's so cute, like, with that outfit.
I know! And then we are going to defend Maggie with our life. So, for those of you on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Those on stream, we're just taking a break. But, those on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Excited to be back into Ace Attorney. Excited to get through miles of stuff. These games are definitely going to be long. They are just long games. They're just fucking long games. So, thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys next time. This has been Danny,
And Katie.
and have a good one. Take it easy.